Om Namah Paramarshibhyo Namah Paramarshibhyo Yasyantarnadimadhyam nahi karacharanam Namagotram na sutram No jatim naiva varnana bhavati purusho nanapumsam na chastri Nakaram no vikaram nahi janimaranam nasti punnam na papam Tattvam no tattvam sahaja samarasam sadgurum tam namami Sadashiva samudbhuta shuddha jnanaika rupinim Ramanacharya sampurnam vande guru paramparam Karuna purna sudhabdhe kabalita ghana vishwarupa Kiranavalya arunachala paramatman Aruno bhavachitta kanja suvikasaya Tvai arunachala sarvam bhutva stitva pralinametachitram Hridyahamityatmataya nrityasi bhoho te vadanti hridayam nama Ahamiti kuta ayati tyanvishyantah pravishtayatyamalodhyam Avagamya swam rupam shamyatyarunachalattvai nadivabdhau Tyaktva vishayam bahyam ruddha pranena ruddha manasantastvam Dhyayan pashyati yogi didhitim arunachalattvai mahiyam te Tvai arpita manasa tvam pashyan sarvam tavakrititayam Satatam bhajate ananya prityam Sajayatyarunachalattvai sukhe magnaha Hridaya kuhara madhye kevalam brahmamatram hyahamahamiti sakshat Atmarupena bhati Hridi vishamanasa swam chinvata majjatavam Pavanachalanarodhat atmanishto bhavatto. Last few days we have seen the first two Mangalacharana Venpa. The first Venpa where Bhagavan said, directly he pointed out the awareness of the self, the Atmanubhuti that is ever available in all. Say Upanishad Mahavakya. Mahavakya doesn't mean only 4 Mahavakyas. Any Vakya that indicates the self, gives you instantaneous recognition of the Atman, is a Mahavakya. So there is a Vakya, Upanishadic statement, Sarvanubhuhu. The Atman is experienced by all. Sarva means all. Anubhuhu means experienced. It is experienced by all. If you have deep faith, bhakti in the Shruti Vakya, then simple acceptance of this can make you free. You need not listen further. You accept the simple fact that there is no ignorant person at all. There is no ignorant one. Nobody is ignorant. All are ever experiencing Atman. You can call Atman, you can call God. The self is aparoksham. It is aparoksha. Yes, sakshat aparokshat brahma. Aparoksha means it is immediate. We can say that the secret of Bhagavan is this. He never accepted ignorance. He never accepted that there is an ignorant person, a sadhaka who wants to realize the self, and I have to give him teaching. he never accepted any of these things. Perhaps his standpoint was that all the devotees who thronged around him were trying to play with him the game of ignorance, the pretension of ignorance. And they will go to him and tell Bhagavan, I am ignorant, give me teaching. He will say, you are already that. You are already Arunachala Swarupam. You are the self, you are the Atman. Why do you superimpose ignorance in yourself? Muruganar in somewhere, he remarked, often we used to feel that Bhagavan will see our standpoint also. Often we used to feel that Bhagavan will know that we are ignorant, but whenever we go in front of him, we also used to feel that we are also that. So how to express ignorance? So this is, the Upanishad says, we can call it the Ananya Yoga. The Upanishad says, Kathopanishad says, the Jnani who is an Ananya, because he never Anniyam illa our nilamai. In Ulladu Narpadu, Bhagavan says the state where he has no other. In that state, if he gives you the teaching playfully or just like a satsanga, Shankaracharya gives in his commentary one statement, it is impossible not to realize. Avagatihi bhavatyeva ananya prokte gatiratra nasti aniyan hi atarkyamanu pramanat. It is so subtle. It is subtle than the subtlest. But when the jnani is in that state, he looks at you as himself. He is not ready to accept your ignorance. Vyasa Bhagavan, in his Brahma Sutra, there is one small aphorism where he says, what is this world made of? Ultimate statement. What is this? He said, it is a sport. Lokavat, like samsara. It appears like suffering, like samsara. Somebody is suffering, somebody is having difficulty. Lokavat leela. Leela means sport. When can you have that state? Kaivalyam. Kaivalyam means there is no two. When you accept two, you cannot call it sport. Now you see, even sport is a samsara. Entire world, sport is a business, sport is a battle, sport is a samsara. Because ignorant people can make even a sport as a samsara. A jnani can make samsara as sport. Jnate tattve kahas samsara. Shankaracharya asked, the moment you know Tattvajnanam comes to you, where is samsara? Where is suffering? There is no suffering. So, what is needed is this knowledge of the self. Ulla unarvu. I don't know whether I have to say, but I feel like saying, 2 days we didn't have this satsang. I had been to Chennai, and a great devotee who have been living all his life on Vedanta Shastra, listening, studying, contemplating on Vedanta Shastra. He's almost 85 years old, he was. Suddenly I felt like going and seeing him. I went there for some other conference in Sanskrit college, but suddenly went to see him, and we had a conversation. And he said, I've listened to all the texts, Upanishads, Prasthanatraya, everything. Now what is needed for me is only that conviction that I am the self. Then I told him, you know Panchadashi? Here Vidyaranya Swami says, give up all the chaff and take only the essence. Palalamima dhanyarti tyajed granthana sheshataha. Now you can give up all the books now. Take only the Mahavakya. I uttered the Mahavakya also. So you take only that. Nothing else is needed for you. And he spoke about a Mahatma who stayed in that state. After saying this, I just came down from his house and entered the car for going to the Sanskrit college. He just fell down. After that, he has not spoken much with anybody. One day he was alive, the body was alive. Over. So, the first verse and second verse, both are included here. See, this is life. This is not, we cannot bring it about. Somebody was asking about grace. This is the element which links the both. The first thing is to have the awareness of the self. And the second thing, death will take away the body in the last moment, or jnana can remove the body now also. Jnana can remove the body now. It can erase the body now because the body has no existence in the real being. As in deep sleep, you do not have the body. Your own I, the Jiva Bhava, is not there. The moment you know that that is your real nature, that is the self, Atmavastu, that is freedom. And that state, Bhagavan says, Ullal ara ullatte ullal. Abidance in one's heart, free of all becomings, free of all thoughts, free of all doership, enjoyership, just abidance in ulla unarvu, in existence, in one's real nature. So first hymn and the second hymn, second Venba, both are over now. Second Venba, we saw about death. You can meditate on death and then take a leap to the deathless being. Or you can directly from the very, many used to ask, it is better to take the second song first than the first song, because it speaks about death and the first song speaks about the self. But Bhagavan's opinion is, if the first song itself gives you the recognition of the self, you need not think about death. There is no need for you to think about death, old age, disease, separation, all the pains that are around you. These are all collectively called death. That we spoke yesterday. Death is not simply removal of the body. All the suffering that is around us, they are collectively called mrityu. The Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad calls the life as death. Avidyaya mrityum tirtva. What you call as your karma, your interaction with the world, the attachment, the aversion, the doership, the relationship problem. See, people have all these things, Relationship problem. All these things are collectively named as death, mrityu. One day they will reveal to you that they are death. If you are happily attached to somebody, one day he will be taken away from you. And what is birth? You don't want somebody to come and he will come. As an individual or event or emotion, something will happen, that is birth. So birth is also a suffering. Death is also a suffering. All these things are around. You have to prepare the kshetra, the field in which this jnana can happen. And that kshetra is perfect vairagyam. Why should we contemplate on death? People will ask, in our orthodox houses also, if we speak about death, don't speak about death, they will say. Amangalam. We should not speak about death. In a way, that is also right. Because in Ayurveda Kara, they say you should not speak about disease. You should not speak about death. It is not needed in an ordinary level. But spiritually, when you deeply ponder over this, vairagya comes. Then you find that whatever you may achieve, all the attainments in this life are hollow, meaningless, worthless. In Bhagavan's words, paj. He says, world is paj. Paj means wasteland. And Atma is pajandru. The only thing that is not paj, that is not nothingness, that is not void, is within you, ever available as aham, aham, I, tan. Tan. That is par andre. It is the purna vastu. So here, now we enter the work, the grantha, the shastra. First day itself I said, Bhagavan has given us one of the greatest thing when physically he was available. Devotees got that maunam, that silence in his presence, which you cannot get from any medium. And even now, in Bhagavan's Sannidhi, only that body has disappeared, that maunam, that silence, that profound transmission of the experience through maunam is there. That is why even now people are rushing to visit Ramanacharanatirtha, stay there. Otherwise, what is there? It is that sannidhi, that presence. That is the first thing. And the second thing is, Bhagavan constantly sought to it that the mind is turned towards the self. Our KVS used to say, not only Bhagavan rescued us from ignorance, he also rescued us from knowledge. Otherwise, unnecessarily, so much things will be loaded in the head. So you used to ask, who wants to know? Find out the knower. And search, seek the knower, the I, the doer inside, the enjoyer inside. Incessantly become aware of your real nature. So this knowledge was constantly transmitted. And to continue the tradition, Bhagavan gave perfect teaching in his books. This Ulladu, Narpadu, all the Nochur. And there is no doubt what is Bhagavan's teaching. We were always contemplating on Tiruvannamalai for many years. There Bhagavan said, what is Arunachala for him? He said, it is the solid Upanishad. Vedantate Veru ara vilangum veda porul. Arul Arunachala. Arunachala is Veda Purul, the essence, the implied meaning of Vedanta, the Upanishad. And where Aravilangum? What is the purpose of that knowledge? You reach that state where the otherness is gone. There is no separation between you and God. The I is no more there. Arunachala is there as the greatest teacher, Dakshinamurti, who gives you not only the Maunam but also the perfect teaching. Like that, Bhagavan also gave that perfect teaching. Vedanta Jnana. So this Ulladu Narpadu is the most authentic form of Bhagavan's teaching. So, as even after knowing the truth, you need some support. We call alambam. We have to live in the world. So even the knower, there is only one joy for him. That is, constantly think about it, speak about it. Adinai ninaithum, adinai uraithum, says Bhagavan. Always thinking about it, contemplating on it, delighting on it. Nothing else. And you all have come here and what are we doing? We are swallowing time. This is Satsanga. Kabalita Ghana Vishwarupa. Bhagavan says, what does Arunachala do? He constantly swallows the world. And a Jivan Mukta also, after his jnanam, when he is alive, he is doing incessant swallowing and digesting of the world. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve. Sashanti mapunoti na kama kami. As Bhagavan says in Gita, he continues to live, he continues to swallow things through his senses, but all those things enter and is digested. If there is undigested food, you will feel. That is Dvaita. If you are feeling about some person, some attachment, some aversion, some disturbance, or some pleasure, even a pleasure is a disturbance, that is indigestion. The moment you swallow every experience and digest it, Dvaita will be gone. This is not only my statement, Bhagavan has told this. Sureshwaracharya in his Vartika says, it is like Kabalita Annavada, swallowing and digesting. Like that, this jnanam becomes so powerful that no experience in this world remains there to disturb you. It is finished. If you have not reached that state, you have to continue to ignite the inner fire, to put all these things as oblation there and burn them. So this is jnana yajna. As Bhagavan puts it in Bhagavad Gita, this is jnana yajna. So after knowing, what should we do? Constantly contemplate on it. Constantly not speak about the world. Not think about the world. You know, there was a great Mahatma in Kerala. His name was Balakrishnan, about whom only I spoke to that devotee today. I told, to him also. He used to, whenever you meet, whenever you go to him, he will have only one thing to speak. That's Brahman alone exists. Nothing else. No one else. Ekameva advitiyam. He will not allow you to speak, neither will he speak about the world, nor will about any incident or event. Even when he was in hospital, we had a visit. There also he said, in this hospital room, I am having Brahmanubhava. There is nothing, there is no body. All of you have not come. None of you has come here. Nobody is going away. Nothing is happening. Only that is there. Still, these worldly people, when they were about to go, someone asked, "Sir, what about your prostate gland surgery?" They asked. And he said, in Malayalam, he said, "Mannangata." He said, mere dust, worthless, nothing to say about it. So, this is the thing that one has to do, because time is there. Unless you fill the time with God, Maya will come and sit there. Time is life. Time is bondage. Time can become bhakti. Time can become ananda. Time can give you so much time is there, you can have the joy of Jivan Mukti there, or you can have bondage. The freedom is with you. If you continue to think, if you continue to do actions, if you continue to entertain duality, bondage is sure. So better incessantly have satsanga. Satsanga is not simply this 1 hour, all your life. That is why these books were given by Bhagavan. Because certain sadhakas, it is right that you should not become simply bookish. But certain sadhakas have another thought, that we should not read books, always meditate. See, that is good. If you can do that, it is good. But if it is not possible, at least hold on to these divine texts given by enlightened beings. So here we are entering the verse, the first verse actually, or the third verse you can say, including the 2 Mangalacharana verse. Nam ulagam kandalal நானாவாம் சக்தியுள ஓர் முதலை ஒப்பல் ஒரு தலையே. நாம உரு சித்திரமும் பார்ப்பானும் சேர்ப்படமும் ஆரொளியும் அத்தனையும் தானாம் அவன். This is the verse. This verse has a beginning and has an end. The beginning is ignorance, the end is jnanam. The beginning is Nam Ulagam Kandalal. Yesterday itself I told, as we are seeing the world, we are with the senses turned outwards, since we see this world. What to do? Then you need treatment. That is what we said yesterday, no? I am seeing the world, then you certainly need a chikitsa, a therapy. Because that is a disease. Because this is not world, this is Ishvara. Say coconut tree is there. But this coconut tree does not know that its name is coconut tree. Only we say it is a coconut tree. It has only a simple awareness, that alone is there, and that is Brahman, but we call it coconut tree, and next we say it is my tree, and this is inside my compound, and what to do? It is not giving coconuts now, so why not cut it and plant something else there? This is samsara. So, this is the perception of the world. So, you say this is world. Everyone is chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. This Margari, every day morning you will listen to Vishnu Sahasranama in ashram. The very first name in Vishnu Sahasranama is enough. Where Vyasa says Vishwasmai Namaha. The Vishnu who is manifest before me as the world, to him I do namaskara. This is not world, this is Vishwam Vishnu. Now we have to ask whether we are correct or whether Vyasa is correct. We say this is world, and Bhagavan Veda Vyasa says This is Vishnu. What does Bhagavan say? He says, Nam ulagam kandalal attanayum tanam avan. Nam ulagam kandalal. And the last line I said, Attanayum tanam avan. Bhagavan says, Attanayum means everything. Whatever seen, heard, thought about, all these are nothing but Him only. Attanayum tanam avan. This Attanayum tanam avan is jnanam. Sarvam khalu idam brahma. All these things that is seen, known, is all nothing but the self, the Atman. Nam ulagam kandalal nanavam. Now we come to the song. When we see the world, naturally the question arises, who created the world? Somebody must have created it, because you see, you are also without creation, without doing something, nothing comes forth. So, Nanavam Shakti Ula Ur Mudal. One substratum, one source, one essential truth behind this creation is accepted by all. Urutalaye, everyone is accepting. Nama Uru Chittiram, all the names and forms. The world picture of names and forms, the perceiver of it, namely the Jiva, the screen on which the pictures of names and forms appear, the light of awareness that illumines them. Ar oliyum, attanayum tanam avan. Everything is He. See, if I tell one by word, we should make it a class. Then only you will understand. But let us make it simple. The essence is everything means when you see the world, there is everything. In deep sleep, there is no everything. There is no sarvam. When the mind arises, you see people outside, you see events happening in your life, and if you close and try to meditate, you see events happening in your mind. You see the I is born and the I goes, I comes, I goes. All incessant creation is happening. This is called Sarga, creation. If you accept this as a fact, then you have to search for a creator. And all the religions in the world, they propose somebody is there who is creating. Arabhyate jiva jagat paratma tattvabhidhanena matam samastam. Next one. Sarva idnitanam jagatohamashya vachyah prabhuh kasyita parashakti chitretra lokyam cha vilokita cha vatah prakashopi abhavat saika. So, when you accept all this duality, you have to explain. All the philosophy is gone in explaining this. But Vedanta has the way of explaining everything very simply. When you dream, suppose I am dreaming about this talk, this place, all of you I am seeing in the dream. And all of you, and also me, and the light in which I am seeing the dream, everything arises and disappears instantaneously in the real me, the self. They appear, the samagri, the substratum, the essence, the source, raw material for the creation is only me, the consciousness. And the same consciousness appears as you, as me, as the light, as all the objects, as the events. The moment I wake up, you also disappear, I also disappear. Everything disappears, only the waker, the one who has woken up, exists. This is the Drishtanta example. Like that, when you know the truth, only that substratum in which everything arises, stays and subsides, that substratum alone remains. And once you know that substratum and you come back for this play of this world, you know that everything is made of that same stuff. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sahaja Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi is in your deeper meditation, you experience consciousness devoid of all the names and forms. Only pure experience of I. No vikalpa. No vikalpa. Only that chit is experience. The pure ananda is experience. Fulfillment is found here. After that, when you come back to world, we do not know how Bhagavan faced it, because Bhagavan has not spoken elaborately about that. But certainly, a person who has found that non-dual essence in him, when he comes back to the relative plane, he is going to encounter all the disturbing forces. Then he has to make that nirvikalpa anubhava as sahaja. That means either you have to compromise with ignorance. You know how we will compromise with ignorance? We will say, this jnanam is okay, but this is vyavahara. So this is worldly life. So here you can have only dharma. So better. That is one way of looking at it. Okay. We have jnanam, but world we have to play. We have to continue the prarabdha. So that will be there. So that is one side of it. The other thing is, you decide to finish the world in your waking state also. By bringing that Akasha Ganga, that celestial Ganga to the world, by slowly removing all that gives you that misapprehension, that everyone comes to you to tell, I exist. That is why I said, when you are alone, you are Aham Brahmasmi. When a single person comes before you, I exist. You tell him Tattvamasi. When so many people are there, you see I am Atma Brahma. And in your pure state, samadhi, you can say prajnanam. In deep sleep also it's prajnanam Brahma. And all the things, objects, events, when you see sarvam khalu idam Brahma. The Upanishad says sarvam khalu idam Brahma tad jalaniti shanta upasita. Upanishad is giving a upasana where you slowly practice that all the things happening in my life is all that only. Somebody is giving you disturbance, someone you cannot accept. When you have contact with him, you are disturbed, or him or her, you are disturbed. For the time being, perhaps you cannot do anything. But when you are alone, then slowly you take that person, take that event and tell yourself, that person, or that now he is not there, he is there in my memory only. He arises in the inner ocean as a wave, stays for a second, and goes back to that state as wave. Whether he is wave or ocean, water is same. The same Chidvastu is appearing in some name and form and disappearing in the source. This incessant taranga, this wave is happening, waves or bubbles are coming and exploding and going back and becoming water. Water takes name and form as wave, as iceberg, as bubbles. This incessant sarga creation is there. But your work is samam pashyan hi sarvatra. Ihaivatayir jidas sargah esham samye sthitam mana. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, constantly bringing your mind to that equilibrium, that state of equilibrium by seeing that oneness. Maya means it tries to convince you there are many. And you reply there is only one. This is, Bhagavan calls it Arul Porata. The revolt between grace and ignorance. Your ignorance tries to assert, I am there. My life is there. My problems are there. Guru comes and tells you, you do not exist. Your problem do not exist. Only he exists. Attanayum tanam avan. Only that Parameshwara is there. That Bhagavan is there. Neither the body. Only for that Ramana Bhagavan was alive. Otherwise, in olden day stories, nobody will write about the disease of a jnani. He will just disappear. Perhaps they have not written about it. But in recent days, you have seen Bhagavan and his physical body suffering, and he was really suffering. Many people give misinformation that Ramana Maharshi had no pain. He had severe pain, but even in that pain, he said, this is all Attanayum Tanam Avan. The body, the world, the pain, nothing exists. People try to convince you that there is body. Even Bhagavan's own sister, younger sister, went near him and prayed, Bhagavan, if you have some sankalpa, some wish that it should get cured, it will be cured. We know that your anugraha has helped many. Now you have to just make a wish. Your body will be healed. Bhagavan said, Alamelu, what do you say? I have to think that I have a body. Then I have to think that there is cancer. Then I have to think that it should get healed. So much thinking. Where will I go for a mind? Mind means a symptom of ignorance. There is mind because you accept many. In Nochur we have already seen that. In one song, Bhagavan puts forth the state of a sadhaka, where he says Arunachala, through all the senses, names and forms are coming inside. Disturbance are coming inside. They are like thieves entering a house. If the owner of the house is inside, a thief will not come. So are you not there inside? Aimbula kalvar ahattiner puhumbode ahattini illayo Arunachal. Naturally, a sadhaka will be happy. See, Bhagavan is giving a song for me to sing. I can ask Arunachala, so much problem, so many sensory disturbances are there. But the next song, it is just like shaking and bringing it to the firm knowledge. Stuna Khananana, I say. So next song, Bhagavan says, Uruvana munnai olittu yavar varuvar un shude idu Arunachala. He says, Arunachala, you alone exist. How can anyone else come when you alone exist? There are neither names and forms, nor taste, nor touch, nor smell, Only Atmanubhuti is there. Anubhuti is the Swarupa of Atma. Nothing else exists. Shuddha means your deception. Jugglery. He calls it jugglery. Japadi vitte. Only one is there. Then what is all these things? It is all jugglery, says Bhagavan. It's all mere magic show. Only one Atma is there. If you want peace, you have only one logic. If you to accept that Advaita, there is only one logic. That is, you want to end the suffering now. You need peace. You take Advaita. Only the Atman exists. For suffering, you will have innumerable logic. You will say, see, that is right for you, tell that, but that is not possible. Then suffer. So, end the suffering, you have to simply accept this one statement. Attanayum Tanam Avan. Everyone is he. The implication of this is very deep. You have to see your wife, your husband. See, that is what Ramakrishna did. No? He had already experienced that self. And then suddenly his family people said, your wife is coming to stay with you. And what did he do? No, first he said, you have every right over me. He told Sharada Devi, you have every right over me. If you want to lead me worldly life, I am ready for it. And she was such a great being. She said, I have not come here to pull you down. I have come here to serve you only. So what you have got, you give me that. And did he give her some knowledge? He made her sit before him, did puja to her. Actually, with Sharada Devi, with Vivekananda, all those things, the first thing Ramakrishna did is to do puja. Even with Narendranath, when he first came, he did not say, oh, disciple, you come, I am going to teach you. No. First thing that he did is put some flowers on his head and telling, you are Narayana, you are Mahadeva, you have come here. So this was his standpoint. You are Ishvara, you are Atma Vastu, Purna Vastu. And to Sharada Devi also, see, a right person receives it like this. And to Sharada Devi also he said, Ramakrishna said, you are Divine Mother. You have come here to bless me. And saying this, he offered flowers, he offered everything that is done in a puja. And that was the real initiation. Even in this Advaita Sampradaya, when sannyasa is given, in the real tradition, the Guru will do puja to disciple. Then only the Mahavakya is given, then puja is done. The Shishya will do the puja of Guru, but Guru also, in Bhagavatam also, when Parikshit asks for the teaching, Shukacharya does a worship of Parikshit inwardly. He says, Pratyapcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagnam Vyahartumara Bhata Bhagavata Pradhana. That Pratyarchana was done. When Archana was done, he was also worshipped. The disciple was not considered as separate from him. He was considered as Bhagavan himself. And that very look of a jnani implants the seed of enlightenment in the disciple. The jnana, the seed of jnana is planted there. And that grows as anubhuti, as experience. So here Bhagavan gives the statement, Attanayum Tanamavan, everything is He, Ishvara, Arunachala. He had no difference. The perception, the chitra that is before me, and the perceiver me, and the light, everything is only that Atma, that Chaitanya Vastu. All the Shastras are here is only to come to this conclusion. The great book Bhagavatam begins with Janmadhyasya Yatah. Everything arises in it, everything stays in it, everything goes back to it. So that Satyam alone remains. What is the purpose of life? Meditate on that Satyam constantly. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Incessantly meditate on Satyam. You are alive. What should I do? Meditate on Satyam. Satyanu Sandhana Rataha Vimuktaha. Mahatvamatmiyam upaiti mukti. Shanti. Shankaracharya says, if you incessantly meditate on Satyam, you will have peace. You will have liberation, freedom. Mithyanu rataha tu nashye. You have time, you go on thinking about mithya. This happening in the world, that newspaper, news, something is happening somewhere. It is not going to end at all. Always some new, fresh news will be there. Otherwise, they will create some news. Because they have to supply mithya to you. And you go on gathering this poisonous stuff and contemplate and create food poisoning. Not simply indigestion, food poisoning. Food is not something you take only through the mouth, through the eyes, especially through the ears. Especially through the ears. And when we speak also, we are supplying that. Vacho viglapanam hitat. The Upanishad says, making the words impure. When you speak about nan, ni, I, you, he, this, that, you are making your vak. Vak is an energy. Shabda. Shabda malinikarana. Sound pollution. So, the vak should be constantly about God. Thinking should be filled with Him. You first decide that nothing else exists other than God. If you want God, do not accept the world. Do not accept that you have a body. Start saying that I do not have body. People will call you insane. Better be insane than be an ignorant, suffering person. Ramakrishna said, I am mad after God. If you have to sink, better sink in elixir. Why should you sink in some drainage? You have to become mad of God. Bhagavan said, everyone is mad. Arunachala, please cure this madness, this malady of ignorance. And the only medicine is here as the hill. Paitya Marund. He calls Arunachala. All of us have come. What is Bhagavan's statement? We think we have come as spiritual seekers, sadhakas. Bhagavan says, this is lunatic asylum. And Arunachala is the greatest medicine for lunacy. Paitya Marund. He calls it as Paitya Marund. Even, you see, it is not simply Bhagavan's statement. Around Tiruvannamalai, all the village people, they have a sampradaya. Somebody becomes mad, they will bring them and drop them in Tiruvannamalai. Either he will get cured, or people will start worshipping him as a Siddha Purusha. That also happens. Sometimes that also happens, You do not know whether it's a mad person or a Siddha Purusha. Because Siddha Purusha means a person who has this knowledge of the truth, the self. This is Siddha Purusha. So this is there. They will somehow bring him and put him here. From older days, this tradition is there. Because the presence of Arunachala. One lady went to Chennai and filed a case against Ramanacharanatirtha. This incident happened. I'm telling the story in a short form. And the lawyer was a foreign American educated lawyer. A very confident person. And he had, apart from his knowledge of law, he was also a psychiatrist. So this lady, very balanced, convinced him that Ramanashram is doing something against her. I don't know the details, I am not going. And she filed a case against Ramanashram. And this person came to Tiruvannamalai just to directly inquire what is happening. And went inside ashram. She said, I will not come inside. I will stand in the gate. He went to the office and spoke to them, showed them this case file. And Dr. T.N. Krishnaswamy Iyer was there. He said, which is the lady? And he told him about her name. She came there to Chennai to file this case. You know, she is mad. She has a mental problem. He said, you are trying to tell me that I am a psychiatrist, not simply an advocate. I am a psychiatrist. I know who is mad. You will soon come to know. And this person was, because he said a doctor is speaking to him. So he felt, is it so? He was just confused. And then, okay, he said, why go and see Bhagavan? So he went and saw Bhagavan. He had no idea about Bhagavan. But when he saw Bhagavan, all these ideas went away from him. Then they called him to take food. And they told Bhagavan, this Ammal, she has filed a case and because of that he has come. Oh, Ava enga? Bhagavan asked, where is she? He said, she is standing at the gate. He asked, will she be there now also? Go and bring her inside. And they went, she was standing there. And she rushed inside. I said, Bhagavan, she was rushing. Screaming. And when he saw, he became doubtful. She's not behaving normally. The moment she comes to near Bhagavan, she used to rush to Bhagavan and try to hug him. That was one problem there. Bhagavan used to say, you have to do a research on Swamitvam. Becoming a Swami is a very difficult job. You have to base all difficult things. So, they somehow caught hold of her. And this advocate, this lawyer, was taken to the dining hall. While taking food, he asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, is this Ranganayaki Ammal, is she really mad? Bhagavan did not directly reply. He said, people come to Tiruvannamalai sometimes quarter mad and they become half mad. And sometimes they come half mad, they become fully mad. Sometimes fully mad people will come here and will get cured. This is just, he remarked humorously. So, Paithiyamarundai Parulir Aruna Parvata Uruperum Parane. Bhagavan calls, O Arunachala, the Supreme Being, you are the divine herb for madness. And what is madness? The mere meaningless operation of mind is madness. When you have put everything in order, you have the right knowledge, mind ceases to chatter, unnecessarily disturb you. The yoga blossoming inside as the fruit of right knowledge, jnana yoga, will stay with you. It is not done by some artificial effort. You have the right knowledge that your very being, that which is in your center as aham, as tan, that unarvu, that awareness, recognition that this is the Purnavastu. Yennalai irum. Naksharamanamalai Bhagavan says, all the thought process comes to a stop when Vinnuru, that Nunnuru is recognized. The subtlemost beingness, which is infinite Bhuma, is recognized. When the very self is recognized as the boundlessness, as the Purna Vastu, as Bhuma, then naturally this producing thoughts, these dusts of thoughts will subside, giving you that experience of that Shanti, that Maunam, that Purnatva. That is Arunachalam. We will continue tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.